Hello, everybody. I just wanted to hop on live, trying to stay committed to myself for showing up. So, I was just thinking on maybe let's talk about grounding. And do you know what it means? Do you understand it? Can you recognize it when you're not? It's definitely something that I've had to work on the last few days. So when we're coming from a space where we're not grounded, grounded also means safe. How we feel safe in the world. Grounding is a sense of security. That's why it comes from the root chakra, because it is what binds us to our sense of self, our connection to Mother Earth, our security in life. So when we're not feeling grounded, we're coming from this space of disconnection, if you look at it that way. Um, and it's really hard when you're not fully connected through all of your chakras, receiving your message from higher source, to be able to get inspired, to stay connected to what it is you're trying to do, to come from that source where you get chills, where you feel divinely guided. It's next to impossible to come from that space if you're not coming from a space of groundedness and learning what works for grounding for you. For some people, it's meditation. For some people, it's going out into nature, even if it's just for a small walk. When we tend to get disconnected and not grounded, we get stressed a lot easier with the pace of life sometimes. And one of the most important things to do in life, it feels like that, which feels like the opposite of what you want to do, is to disconnect for a minute and make that time to go out into nature. I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite right now because I haven't gone out into nature and I know I've been needing it, but I've been finding other ways to stay grounded, other techniques, other meditations, other forms of grounding is what I've been using. But now that the weather's getting nicer, I definitely will be hopping out, because the vitality that we feel in life when we're tired and we're lethargic, it comes from something off energetically inside of us. So the best place to start is with your grounding, your root chakra, your base, your tie to everything. That is the most important, because when that's off, everything else can be all right, but it'll sort of be off too. So focusing on your grounding, get your feet out into the grass if you can, even if it's a little bit cold, just for 5 minutes, sit there in a chair and allow that energy, whether you're aware of it or not. We are very intuitive beings, we're very energetic sensitive, and Mother Nature is a really huge source of recharge for all of us. So finding that walk, even if it's once or twice a week. I would like to say every day, but some of us are very busy and that's an excuse. Working on that paradigm, I guess, for myself, but um, trying to make it mandatory. It's a non-negotiable to get out at least once a week and connect, touch a tree, get outside. Um, Try to see the beauty, even if it's winter and you're in a part of the world where there's lots of snow and you're not seeing lots of green, still finding the beauty in it, because there's energy there, and there's energy that's absolutely dire to your vitality. So when you're not filling that cup again with that conversation, you're never going to be able to come from a space of giving in a proper way. And that's what most of these people in the group here, and most of the people that will be manifested into the group and drawn into the group, will be intuitive beings that want to give. And that's a beautiful process, is wanting to give and heal and be a part of that. So until you can start getting your recipe, and that's what it is, it's like a recipe. We're trying different things and we're realizing that sometimes we're unconscious and we wander through life and we're not connected, we're not grounded, our chakras are off, and we keep trying to give and identifying what that giving is. Originally when I started this path, giving came with the ulterior motive to fill me because my cup wasn't full, and I'm still working on cup full, but that I needed to identify that I was trying to save myself. I was trying to heal myself by doing it for others and coming from that ulterior motive, and identifying that we need to save ourselves first. We need to be a priority in order to be the best person, to be that person that people are magnetized to be that person that people literally feel energetically drawn to you. They don't even know how or why. They do that because they recognize it in you. They recognize that energy, they recognize that groundedness. You're coming from a space no longer of I'm trying to save myself by healing others. You're coming from a space of I'm working on myself, I'm grounded, I'm assuring that my cup is full, whether that's, mental health, you're identifying your cognitive behavioral problems, or not cognitive distortions. You're double checking your triggers, you're ensuring that you're self-regulating yourself emotionally, whether you're, taking baths when you're super stressed out with healing crystals and herbs and Reiki and whatever it is that you do. The healing candles that I have, those are self-care. They really are, because they give off Reiki when you're doing things. So figuring out what it is for you, what recipe it is to fill your cup enough where you're coming from the space of I'm okay. I genuinely want to help you like I've helped myself. That is when things are really going to take off for you. That is when things start to flourish, because you're no longer chasing that I'm saving myself mode. And I think it is a lifelong shift. But the more we start to step into taking care of ourselves, focusing on ourselves, shifting and growing and manifesting and having goals, and people are drawn to that because not everybody does that. So start with grounding. Start with what grounding means for you. Is that getting out into nature? Is that meditating? Is that journaling? Does the journaling help you come into focus of, okay, this is how life is right now? That was weird. My light just completely shifted there. I'm going to have to watch that back. I don't think it's the light outside. Oh, just did it again. Anyways, figuring out what that is for you and allowing yourself to flow from that. Becoming a cook and recipes, they don't just, it takes 15 years, 10, 15 years in order to look at a recipe and understand whether it's going to work or not. So while we're getting there, what we do is we try them. So we try this recipe. I didn't like it, so let's try it with this in it. That's how things work, and that's how our life is. That's how coming into ourselves is. So maybe share what's worked for you, because I think everybody in this group could use, different perspectives and different ideas for how to become that person. I got a call coming through. I gotta go. Have a good day.